What's up guys, welcome to Wasted Space, and we're back on the Rim, and wow, the comments from the last episode was a mixture of helpful stuff and a bit of a legitimate argument over whether or not we should kill Addy. No, I'm not killing Addy, we're just gonna, I don't know, joy wire him or something. Lots of cool discussion about what we could do with him though. Locking him in rooms and all sorts of random stuff. However, we need to begin by some renaming, so welcome aboard Atomic Nom. Atomic Nom Lickwing. Doesn't seem to add up, but anyway. And yes, plenty of other suggestions too. One of them is that this is going to become like an unholy death trap of heat if I leave it as it stands. So I want to add a no roof area. Where are we? I think we're just tiny bit in the corner should do. Means it won't get crazy hot in there, but should still protect it from lightning, which is good. Let's speed things up a little bit. There's plenty going on. This might actually get done, which is nice. And the other thing I wanted to do was play around in here. So I think what I'm going to start off with, let's start off with straight 6 hours. There was loads of people gave some suggestions of this. Not all of them agreed because this is a kind of, as I've mentioned before, a bit arcane art. But anyway, what I'm probably going to do is do like a decent chunk of spacecraft. Where did you land? Nearby enough. Let's grab that while we get the chance. So yeah, a decent chunk of work for it. Let's not do everyone. Let's just do one person and copy and paste. That makes more sense. Decent chunk of work. Maybe a little bit of joy. In fact, I'm going to put some anything either side of that. And then a bit more work before bed is the idea. The anything should allow them to overlap a little bit. Plenty of forced labour to make sure they actually do something during the day, and some joy time to make sure everyone's happy. Now we're going to start here and see how it goes. There was a few people that talked about like staggering it overnight. I think that only really works if you get night owls. Then it makes a lot of sense, but prior to that, I'm not so sure. Now power is still a big issue. Do want to do something wind-wise, but this is so close now. We've got the components, we've got everything we need for that. I do want to just get rid of this wall for the Thrumbo. It's just containing the base in there. We'll do something else in this area. Is this all steel? It is. In which case, I think what we'll do in there is actually continue the wall down. Bit like that, and then I can open it up internally and we can actually use this space for something. There's probably room for more bedrooms down here if need be. I do want to consider about making the hospital a bit bigger, so that's a potential for there as well. And then finally, I do kind of want to move the kitchen down here, but I'm not really sure where. Maybe we make a... Actually, that works quite nicely. Not going to forget about the traders, but maybe in here we actually make this sort of area here, the freezer, because it's got room to go outside, so sort of cut it off across there, actually leave that bit open as the doorway. Let's open that up. Maybe, door there, exit there, a little bit, another set of doors there, another set of doors at this end perhaps, and actually move the whole fridge cooking business down here. Especially if we open this area internally up, this can become much more of a social area, can move the production up into this bit perhaps with the batteries. The other thing I'm going to do, we're not researching anything, so as people rightly said, I can actually go and turn that stuff off, not necessary. Yeah, I think I like that idea for a fridge down here. Double wall the plant area off, gives me an opportunity to replace some of this horrible steel that we've got kicking around down here as well. I can at the very least deconstruct that corner already. And that bit there, I think. Yes, that makes some sense. How's the Thrumbo doing? Are you happy? Are you a happy Thrumbo? Seems to be a happy Thrumbo. So where did that trader end up? Are you not got here? Or have you already left? That would be very quick to leave. You've not got here yet. Or are you leaving? You look like maybe you're leaving. You also don't actually appear to have a trader, so... Okay, maybe that's not the right group. Maybe I just missed it, having said I wasn't going to. That's a distinct possibility as well. Oh well, I got distracted. That's kind of looking alright. Trader from Uncle-Town, right. Stevenson coming in from down the bottom. This is sort of getting done. Relying quite a lot on Dragon actually getting the sandstone cut. Another thing I want to do is get some art going. I think we have the sculptor's bench, but no one's set to it. Low food, who would have thought? The permanent problem of low food. I think we're mostly on top of that. I think. Is that some hay grass grown? Thrumbo can actually have some... How am I supposed to feed the Thrumbo the hay grass, I wonder? Like, do I need to set a pile for it in here? That probably makes sense. It's not going to come up here and get it, so... And Kieran, where are you? Go trade. Nice. Need to do the bionic arm fitting as well. Do you have anything we want? The joy wire. Oh yeah. I'm going to take both of them. Those things look like they could be super duper useful. I'm going to take all your components. I don't want your wargs. The pulsar and the shock lance could be worth selling. I can't see myself ever really using them. Is that all you have that I could want? It does seem so, but I mean... How quickly did that come around? Nice. Storyteller, what are you up to? I can't see... Maybe the Manhunting Rage one could be useful, but the Shock Lance? I can't see me using it. I'll just forget about it. Let's get rid of that. And that's an expensive trade, but it's an expensive trade that involves getting 2 joy wires. Addy, where are you? We've got meds. You. Install joy wire. Brain. And we can also do Gravelfoot's hand as well, but let's get this one done first. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Not going to happen until tomorrow by the looks of things, but still very cool. Right, there was some, apparently there's some steel this way. Yes, there is. Hello, steel. Zzzt. Fire. Damn it. Alright, and is anyone awake? Atomic Nom is trying to go to bed. No, sir. Anybody else awake? Dragon. Come and put the fire out. And anyone really happy with me? Probably Radish, simply because low expectations. So you can... Fire is reserved by Dragon. And Atomic Nom. Go and put some fire out as well. Continue to put some fire out, please. That's worth keeping in mind. We could do with a backup running through this wall here. Maybe as I start to make this room a bit more pretty. Can you guys just put the fire out? Thank you. And yes, we've lost power down here, sort of. Or have we? There's already kind of a backup that goes around the outside, isn't there? So maybe that's not actually so important, and that was just us running out of power overnight like we seem to. Oh, there was one person that also suggested, and I really like this idea, so maybe we'll do this immediately, is we have our chefs go to bed slightly earlier and get up slightly earlier as well, on the basis that we make sure we have food ready. So it was Gravelfoot and... Was Billy our other chef? I can't remember. Let's just do it with Gravelfoot. The Gravelfoot gets up an hour earlier, basically, to make sure there's food. I think that's quite a sensible idea. Right, get Addy that joy wire. Ash, can you repair the conduit for me as well? No. Okay, build the conduit as well, please. Hey. Is that better? Low medicine. Right, Addy. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. Gravelfoot. Right hand. No medicine. Okay. That's fine. We can wait for the next batch to finish. I think medicine is probably going to be a bit more of a thing. So I think some of our newer setup is going to be doing medicine. I also think it's probably time to switch the rice over to something that's a bit more helpful. And I also want a pool table. So I can never remember, do pool tables actually require cloth? They do. You cannot do it with anything else. So some cotton is actually going to be a good idea. Let's do that with some of the new ones. But I still will switch these over to... Let's go with potatoes for the ones that are sort of only just growing. What's this? 40%. Switch those to potatoes. And then someone knocked at the door. Okay, so what was I doing? I was changing stuff to potatoes, and I think that's good. Right, sculptures. Sculpture table has no build, so that's a good place to start. Let's do small sculptures, and how are we doing? We've got, is that marble or sandstone? I can't tell. I think that's the marble, so no, you're not making them out of silver or gold or plasteel or anything weird. Make them out of marble. Think that makes sense. Yes, that is the marble, and let's have a few. And who is it that's doing art at the moment? That would be Gravelfoot when there's no cooking to be done, or Addy when he's got not got anything else to do and he's not having a joy wire put in his head. Oh, he's going to be so much better. Where is it? Joy wire 30. Boom. Boom. That's spot on. So easily pleased, and yet I think that's a big deal. The other thing I think I will remember to do before it becomes like a massive hurry is put the door on there and then force it open so that if we have manhunters we can continue to work inside the base, no problem. Nice, the geo's up, so power should be rising. Can also consider setting up something down here, but I think first let's get the fridge, I think, is the next thing that we should worry about getting done. Continue the wall up to the end. Now I wonder, how big a gap have I got in here? 12. I think I can get rid of this wall safely. I think. So either that or it's going to collapse in. I did notice at the end of last episode, somewhere a wall did collapse. And I only noticed it on the recording, so I have no idea where it was. I think probably down here somewhere. Got a lot of steel down there too. And did I mark up the steel that was to the right? I did that bit. There's more. There's more. How close is this looking in comparison to there? I guess it's essentially just as close. Here was it. And I did not mark it up. Get you done. Cancel that little bit. Not important. Because, yeah, we've got some steel, but could still do with more, I feel. Dragon's doing good work. Gravelfoot is on to our statue crafting. Because I think I only ever built it and then didn't get anything else done. Who's in a bad mood with me now? Nobody else should be in bad moods with me. What is your needs? Hungry, pain. Still got the mechanites, so that's part of his problem. Yep, ugly environment. That's probably from where he was rather than where he is now. Don't think this place is that ugly, is it? Certainly doesn't look it. There's a bunch of steel along the insides here as well, so again, hopefully this is safe to remove. Gonna have to see. Do it a little bit at a time as well, I suspect. And bedtime. Bedtime for everyone except the Thrumbo. Visitors seem to have a few items for trade. Misbeat. Be nice if you could see without having to talk to them, but I suppose that's not really very necessary. I never saw whether that gave any metal. My test was a failure. Have we got meds yet? We still have no meds. So that is the only issue, really. Atomic Nom doing a good job of getting the cooking done. Low food, low meds, yeah. How's power situation looking? Power is good. He's onto the fine meal, so that's also cool. Get the fridge moved down, I think that would be quite nice. I think this is just being slowed down by the fact that Dragon has to constantly make blocks. Is Dragon constantly making blocks? Crafting 3. Only repair... Oh, actually, in reality, that should be like that, I think, for the time being. There's not that much construction going on. Plenty of other people can be doing that. I would prefer Dragon to stick on important tasks. Lots of heal root growing kind of slowly, but whatever. What do you expect? It's spring. Traders from Uncle Town are leaving. I kind of wanted to talk to them, so let's have a quick trade. Kind of forgot. What do you got? 4 meds. Quite cheap as well, actually. Let's grab those because I want to do Gravelfoot's arm. And then, do you have anything interesting? This is all our stuff that we don't really... Actually, ditch a 45% charge rifle. Minigun. Don't see us using it, but I'll keep it for the time being. Nice, nice. Cool. This deconstruction happened without it falling over, so it's good to know. Let's get sandstone filled into there, but we're going to want to go up along the back in order to clear out this rest of the stuff, so it's a start. Everyone's together for a... Let's have a look. How's things going during these periods? Joy-filled, spacious interior, dull bedroom, he's happy. Social-wise, looking okay. Communicated with Thrumbo. Not looking too bad. We didn't set any cotton yet because we were waiting for the power. The power looks to be sorted with the next geo up, so I think it would also be a good idea at this point to start getting some more hydroponics down. Cool, and then there and there. Hopefully we have the power for that. How much does each table use? 70 watts. Oh, actually, they don't use very much. Okay, that's not so bad then. That's cool. The wall around that isn't done, but I'm not actually surprised. Making Radio Radish and Dragon do all the stone cutting constantly. Almost to the point where I might consider another stone cutting bench. Might have one here as well. Apparently there's a cat in the background as well. I have no idea when that appeared, but shush you. Everyone else will be like, oh, cat in video. And I'm like, shut up. Cool, and that links on to the other stuff nicely as well. Although, are we about to make this nice big communal area? Do I not want to do that yet? It's only 105 steel. I can move it if need be. We aren't using... Oh, the smelter's off. I was about to say, we aren't using the smelter, but it's already off. We're fine. In here... I don't know what to do with this space. It's got a stockpile in it at the moment, but it's a bit of a random area. Should kind of get rid of that as well. Really, because there's this whole corridor area. It's weird. I don't know what to do with it. Maybe you guys will have an idea. I certainly don't. What I do know is let's get this mined out and cut out ready. Is this steel? This is all sandstone. This is steel. Ooh, blight? No! Actually, I'm kind of surprised we haven't had any blight thus far. Boom. Crops down. Food supplies are looking alright though. That shouldn't make too much difference, and the hydroponics beds grow really quickly, so that's more of a pain for our meds than anything. Is this an opportunity to switch some over to something more sensible? What is this stuff all growing? Potato, strawberry, heel root, rice, potato. I want more heel root. And then when these are built, I'll leave some of those on food, because this stuff outside's all died now, chance of that. Maybe it'll grow before the end of the season, maybe it won't. That is a gather spot. This one isn't. Try and keep track of that as best I can. Stone cutting's okay. What else was on my list of things? That's a raid inside the base, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Screw the list of things. It's raid inside base time. I think they're going to land down in these rooms, perhaps. Something like that. Okay, Ash charge rifle there. Addy unarmed. That's not ideal. I should be keeping better track of that. Jurgen, straight shots. Gravel, come onto the corner. Billy, sniper, let's get you down there. No one's in this area of the base, which is good. So let's get you three up here. What we got? You on that corner, you on that corner, Max. Ready to defend them in melee. Radio Radish has a club. The Addy Club. Atomic Nom with the charge rifle. That's cool. Mixer, shotgun. In the doorway in case we need you. Kieran can't do anything. And I think that is everybody. Unless someone is kicking around somewhere weird outside the base. Nope. We are good. Okay, this is gonna get interesting. Fingers crossed. Yep, they fell where I expected at least. We're gonna get some good early shots on them if nothing else. They're gonna come out into the turret. Jurgen, come down a bit so you're in range. These guys are all gonna have good shots. Kieran, of course you ran in there. Max is going to be ready to take more shots. That's cool. Jurgen should be shooting him in the back. I think we can get Billy out to cause some pain from behind, maybe? Get that into that doorway so that you've got a bit of cover yourself. And I think here we're going to need to use... Unless Decker's going to die before he gets to us, which I don't think he is, I think we might want to pull people back... and get Max on the corner. Okay, so Decker's stopped to shoot. That's fine. You guys make sure you're not in his line of fire. Can we... I've never tried, but can you shift orders in this? I don't think you can. Mick's in a good position for when he tries to come around the corner. These guys are fine. Jurgen is shooting into the back. Emma's about to die, so... okay. Let's continue. I am very surprised by that. It looks like someone's... gunshot charge rifle. Now, I suspect that may be Atomic Nom and not Decker. That's one of those guys down. Renata will be next. Billy should be firing at London in the back. And is it time for Max to get out the way, or is it time for Max to charge in? I never trust the melee so much. Max has got good melee skill. Let's give him the gun treatment instead. That's good. Pirates and the Knuckle Dusters are fleeing. That's because there's only one of them left. You're going to try and flee that way. I don't think that's going to work out well for you. In fact, Max, don't worry about it, bro. The turret's got London. Yeah. London can't find a way out. Billy, you guys. How's Renata? A mercenary. Fast walker that dislikes men. Fast walking is always good. High artistic, but incapable of dumb labour. No particularly bad complaints on that side of things, so maybe a capture there? Recruitment difficulty for the mercenaries normally isn't too bad. It's the tribesmen that are really hard to recruit. I don't think any of the others survived. I think they all bought it. Except for potentially London, but I can't see this ending well for London either. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. So, we have a trigger-happy abrasive. No, thank you. Who is not damaged? Gravelfoot. Capture Renata, please. Let's do some stripping. Billy, finish off London. Nope, that, reconnect. I want the shiv as well. Let's allow that. Any other bits and bobs that need allowing? Yep. And a gun there, another strip. Get you guys off this. Atomic Nom seemed to shoot absolutely miles down there with the charge rifle. Didn't expect them to have quite that good range. Cool. That seems to be us covered. With the exception of, where is Radio Radish? You can be responsible for this. Welcome to the colony. Your first duty. Beat this man to death. Did I fail to reconnect? Yes, I did. GG. Nicely done. And let's also toggle the power on down here, because that shouldn't be so much of a problem anymore. Temperature indoors is actually quite warm. So, of course it is, because we haven't switched these over. So let's do that as well. Want to continue, make sure I do that again down here with the new fridge. I think that's a good way of doing things. Colonist needs treatment, dragon. So, but flicking switch takes priority over treatment, of course. The other thing I think we probably want to do, if we've got the stuff for it, is get a TV in here. That seems to be a good place. Just trying to think about if there's some way I can... They don't block each other, so I could have one that way and one that way if I wanted to cram pack this room completely, but I don't actually think that's a great idea. So yeah, let's get a TV in there as well. They've been flicked over, so hopefully the temperature indoors starts to level out a bit, because that was actually getting kind of warm. Cool, this has mostly been done, so we can start sandstoning the bits we need to, start mining the bits we need to. There's a little area that's going to get opened up by the looks of things. It's not too bad. I didn't really do a very good job of making sure I had a doorway on this end, did I? Like the proper freezer setup, so let's do that. Why not? Why not? Need medicine is still an issue. Oh, I did get some. Quick. Gravel, where are you? Gravel. Missing a hand. No longer. Was it right? Install bionic right shoulder. Just check that we're not talking about a prostaphobe. Nope. All good. So, yeah. Bionic arm, right shoulder, right hand. Cool. That's going to be nice. That's going to be nice. Is Gravel going to end up staying in bed overnight? Possibly. Area revealed. Yes. Isn't it a massively impressive area? Fill in that stuff. We're going to want... that's an auto door. We're going to want you to use auto doors for this, really. I think just because it's going to make entering and exiting nice and quick. That big enough? I guess it's considerably larger than the one I've got, and I'm just thinking future-proofing style. Actually, maybe what I wanted to do was come down here, like up at this end. Like there. I think it was. Might as well use all the space, you know. Might as well. Switch them over. So that's... Does that need to be double wall? I mean, it's internal, isn't it? So technically, no. It's internal, but it's fridge internal. So yeah, let's do it. It might save us some power in the long run or something. And let's also mine that as well. To be honest, that's mine all the way up to there. I'll do Billy's room next. Slowly replace the internal walls with sandstone. Do you think they're going to pull this off without locking themselves in? Not really sure. Normally, the answer would be no. So I'm gonna go with that and see what happens. Nice, and Gravelfoot has survived her operation by the sounds of things, and then disappeared off over here. Hauling. Let's have a look. Bionics. Nice. Good stuff. Why are there clothes up there? Is this stockpile full? Kind of. Rough hewn sandstone. That's all sandstone. We need a place to have an outdoor stockpile? Down in this corner, maybe? Would that encourage them to go that way? Possibly. Down in this corner. Disturb the tiny bit of hill route in... Yeah. I think that's probably a good idea. Do that there, and this can be for... Let's clear everything. This is just for raw resources, isn't it? The stuff that doesn't break down outside. Steel, plastic, yep. That's all good. Preferred, I think. And then over here, let's turn raw resources off, except for hops. Should clear up this internal one a fair bit. We're never going to really want to sell that stuff anyway, so... All good. Save that other joy. I just noticed it's sitting there. I'm going to save that one just in case someone starts being a pain. We still have a silver dining chair that we could use to decorate this area, perhaps. Ah, that stonecutter table is really not getting done. Visitors with items to trade. Phoebe. I'll wait for you to get over here. Nice, plants all growing well. New hydroponics going down, so they default to potatoes, and that's kind of fine. I do want a few more potatoes before anything else. Eventually, we're going to convert this patch over to hydroponic tables as well, I think. Low meds, yeah, not much I can do about that. I'm trying. I think low food is probably an overstatement. I don't think it's quite that bad, so. Cool, this one. Go with a bit more heal route for that. Does that need to be doubled? I don't think so, because this is arguably the break anyway. That is an auto door, right? Yes, good. Okay, so here now I can do that. Whether or not we open this whole area up or what happens, I'm not sure yet. All I know is that for the time being, this is how I'll do it. I'll probably give us a little overlap down there to give us room to put the extra doors in, and I think that can all be deconstructed. There was also another suggestion about moving the doors from that side to this side, but I think now we've opened this up, it's probably alright. I think. Something. A psychic drone, hopefully we can be alright with that. We have 186 human meat. Just sitting around, waiting to make kibble, I guess. Summer has begun. How goes the training of the Thrombo? Not well. Doesn't even have a name yet. So this is going to be... We butchered human-like. Okay, I probably should turn that off. Wasn't really my intention. Let's have a look. So, walnut apparel. We need to get the tailoring back on the go. Did I ever put the tailoring bench back down again? I didn't. So that would probably be part of the reason why there's no tailoring happening. I should make out of, I guess, steel. Silver? No. Probably not silver. So, and it also looks like we want it kind of over here somewhere. Maybe we want it instead of the stone cutters. And then, of course, I'm going to need to go and set up an annoying bunch of stuff in there to get it sorted out, but that's fine. Cool. Collection of stuff outside, not breaking. Cargo pods. Yorkshire Terrier meat. Ooh, hello. Someone pointed these out to me and I completely forgot. We should break those down for parts when we get the chance as well. Again, I think low food may be an overstatement. Nice, people immediately in. Right, these have connected onto something weird. There you go. Should we have heal route in there as well, I think. Looking better. Hang on. Oh no, that is the door. Cool. I was just saying, don't lock yourselves in, guys. That's not a great plan. But we're fine. We're fine. All is good. And then also door. We're gonna want a cooler. Which is technically gonna end up being a weak point, which was the advantage of there. So maybe can I put the cooler on the inside side? No. I could vent heat into there, which could be interesting, but that's already quite warm. These off. How are you slow? Yeah. Terrible mood, Max. Max is very angry with me. So maybe what I'll do is... Yeah, I've got room here. So what I'll do is that. I think... Is that going to be deep enough? Yeah, probably. Probably. It's an experiment. We shall find out. What does this stockpile even store? Chunks. Not sure we need you anymore. Visitors to the colony. Ooh, with a big group like that, maybe they've got more to trade. You there. And Kieran, where be you hiding? I forgot to do the prisoner stuff. I've just seen the prisoner now. Doll. How are you doing? Recruitment difficulty 99. You are probably not worth it. No, I'm going to pass up. Off you go. Nice. From you guys, I will happily take your components and your medicine. No, I want to take his medicine. And I will sell you a minigun, because for some reason you're giving me more money than the other one did. Oh, actually, maybe I won't. Maybe that's too much. Yes, that is too much. Poor pistol, yeah. Molotov cocktails, I mean, yes. But that doesn't make up for very much money. Maybe that? I should do. Oh, for God's sake. Should have seen that one coming. Did see that one coming, in fact. Because they like to do these things badly. A trader. It's throwing traders at me. Why is it throwing traders at me? What is it up to? You can come inside, guys. You'd be welcome. I think Kieran's our highest social-wise. Yeah, by miles. By miles. Even when I disturb his sleep. Cool. All sorts of interesting stuff. I don't want your psychic tinfoil helmet. I do want to get rid of some of our trashy clothes. What else have you got? You have a bionic eye. We have a bionic eye, so I probably don't want that. You've got more joy wires. Wow, just throwing joy wires at me now. You've got a fair chunk of components. I'll have those. Those. Grizzly bears. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Might just be an opportunity to make some money here. Yeah, I think so. Although at this point I'm paying them, so... Yeah, have an animal pulser. You pay me. I'm far happy with that arrangement. I think otherwise we're kind of okay. I'll pick up a simple prosthetic, but... Really what we're after is another bionic arm to replace the one we used. So, yep. Thank you all for your kindness. Ooh, TV's up. Sweet. And as before, this stuff can get turned off. I should really set up a... Tell you what, let's do that now. Stick that there, I can turn those off without having to send someone down to do it. Terrible mood for Max, yeah, hopefully breakfast cheers him up. Wearing worn out apparel, oh that's your shield. Yeah, problem is mostly the drone. Very joy deprived. So is this potentially a time where I need to add a little bit of extra joy in, or is it just Max? No, there's a few addies joy deprived. Lots of joy deprived, and our restrictions don't give them joy until later. So, I think I should give them some more joy time during the day. Oops, that's not very accurate. But I think what I'm going to do is actually put anything there and move the 2 band of work earlier. So they've got an hour of anything after they wake up. Hour of anything after they wake up? Hour of 2 hours off before they go to bed? Is that sensible? I don't know. Let's see. I will track how things go with that, because I think this needs a bit of monitoring, because it's definitely not spot on at the moment. This space down here is weird. I definitely think that we'll just extend the hospital this direction. Make it big and nice. Statue from Gravelfoot has still got pretty much all the work left, probably because we're doing so much construction. Cool. Now, thinking here is I can now go... temperature. In fact, in reality, can I... It's indoors, but it's a rock roof thin. So we can go... No roof area there, and put a vent there. And actually, I can fill this back in again to make sure that we've got... double space. How do you manage to do this every time, peeps? And then immediately build that one and not the one next to it. Stop it! And I should stop pausing it every time they do. I do not need to pause it to issue commands. This is not necessary. I also think a huge amount of floor smoothing is in order. Of course there's a little bit we can't smooth. Of course! And smooth bedrooms. That's a good idea. These need floors in instead. Fridge is almost done. Please don't do that first. I want to keep the double thickness just in case there's some potential issue with this being a weak point. This will completely prevent any possibility of that being a weak point. Assuming they do it. I mean, the food stocks are looking pretty comfy in comparison to how they were before, so that I am happy with. Have we finished the We Butchered Human-like debuff? No. But he's got tons of joy, so that's good. That's enough of a debuff at the moment that I'm not 100% happy with it. Cool, they've actually done this bit well enough now as well. So that and some deconstructing. Let's regain the steel back out of our walls, basically. They've almost done this as well. There is a little bit in here that's got no roof, so this should stay unroofed internally. Cool. So that's sort of getting sorted. Everything's sort of getting sorted at the moment. Not bad. Even the stuff outside is kind of ish growing, maybe. Although, as suggested, the blight may ensure that that doesn't finish in time. Made these out of steel as well, didn't I? Yep. Not the end of the world. And so peaceful. Should really smooth this entire internal area, but I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this internal area yet. I might move the stockpile over here and sort of free this up for more rooms in a sort of central area. Stick some mirrored rooms this side as well. Break down on a turret. Now I'm pretty certain with the priorities set as they are, they should be pretty swift on that. Components are looking pretty alright. I could probably do with marking up some more mining, but I bet you they've done the bit that I did. Does look like they have. Where was the bit down here? Here we go. Should have a look around, see if I can find any plasteel as well. That'd be handy. More components. That's fine. I don't think the food is quite as low as everyone's making out. Can you do that last bit up there, please? So that I can switch more of these over to potatoes. Nope, that bit's... No, it's not grown. It's just a random bit that isn't grown. I guess it didn't get planted. That would almost certainly be it. This is sandstone, so yeah, nothing I can do there. These guys are busy smoothing. Ah, nice, that's been done. So, sandstone there. Temperature, vent, not vent, cooler. Like that. Then I can think about maybe putting another one this side to vent into the base. And then as soon as this is done, I will open that roof up, because if I open it up too early, then we will have the whole base outside. Actually, it won't be the whole base, it'll just be this room. So, there we go. Nice. So that can just vent out the hole there and be nice and secure at the same time. And then down here we're also going to want a... How are we doing for wood? We have very little. I guess these are going to be steel then. Let's have the butcher table, electric stove, and a second electric stove, not for yet, but for later. That's not powered, okay. No, it wouldn't be, would it? And also... light. And then I'm ready to move the stockpile. I think I'll keep this as the main gathering area and just keep a meal spot like that where it spoils in 3 days, you know. That's slow enough and we're eating it quick enough that it's never going to sit there for that long. It's just a single stack, so a maximum of 10 meals. We eat those in one sitting. So as long as people are hauling quick enough, there'll always be a stack in there, but this side of things will go nice and quick. Uncle's Town just love visiting me. That should be on hold open. Otherwise it kinda doesn't work. How's everyone feeling now? Still, the drone's done, which is good. In darkness. So yeah, they do get a... I suppose it's only while they're actually in their bedrooms, which they spend a little bit more time than they used to, because now they like do things like praying in them. Nice. So builds on the butcher table, butcher creature, do forever, and no human-like, and just drop on the floor and make kibble until we have 201. Sure, whatever. Allow rotten, and sure, include human meat to use up what we've got. That's fine. That's connected up, that's connected up. So set the desired temp, -9. I don't think that's quite required. -4 should be good. It'll get crazy hot in... Actually, it won't because it's outside, but should calm these down. Cool. Bills. Simple meal. Do until we have... Until we have 50. And use not rotten, not human. Excuse me. And not fertilized eggs. Cool. One more. Oh, hang on. And Drop on floor. Fine meal. Do until we have 30. Secondary priority. Not rotten. Drop on floor. This one can be off for the moment. So, final thing. Stockpile. Pace settings. Foods manufactured. Important. Goodbye. Deconstruct those. I guess this can be like battery room and backup. No, we were going to use it as production, weren't we? Production room. Get the production out of here. Make a really nice tight little layout in here. Let's mine out that bit. I think it's looking pretty good. This is at correct temperature. Should be nice and insulated, nice and safe. Still need some thoughts about what to do with this central area. I mean, potentially we move our communal area here down to just here, and we have like a lovely communal area sort of centrally, and we keep this as production and stockpile. I don't think I'm going to do anything further this episode with that side of things, so let me know what you think in the comments, guys. That's an interesting choice, because you'd think maybe this common room's not in the best place now, in fact. Everything in here that's important can be moved and reinstalled, so that's fine. You know, all these tables, all that sort of stuff can just be shifted down into this area, give it a nice floor, and use that as kind of our communal area, and maybe shift this into sort of stockpile and production, and have a walled off stockpile room in the center here so that they don't get too angry, or vice versa, stockpile round the sides and a walled off production area in the middle, a bit more up there, or keep this just for batteries. Don't really know. Just fairly pleased with progress this episode, in fact. Let's see if I can't continue this along. We're still not going to have an exit out the back here, but that's fine. I know you guys want me to put one here. I still think it's not a good idea. Let's make sure they get these double walls done. That'll be certainly helpful. Last thing we want is for the raiders to appear with the sappers and go, oh look, the back of his base looks remarkably open all of a sudden. Sweet, so speedy. Last little bit, guys. That last little bit? The last little bit? Are you all going to go to bed? You're all going to go to bed, aren't you? Fine. Oh, there we go. Amber's got me covered. It's good. Jürgen and Billy coming back from a trip to a place. I don't know where they've been. They've been to a place. And I am procrastinating because I'm having quite good fun. And I want to keep playing Rimworld, but I should end the episode. Get up, finish that little bit of wall for me, guys. It'll make me feel better. And then episode is done. Think this whole system seems to be working kind of alright at the moment. I think I might be able to remove that line of joy now, because things are a bit happier now the drone is gone. The fact that everyone gets up and has breakfast together, I think is good. Means people get a nice chunk of joy. Fridge setup seems to be working alright, although I might extend this a little further here, because both of these doors are open at the same time, because it's such a main through pass for stuff. Little bit in the corners getting done. You've locked Jürgen in. Why would you do that? Poor fella. Last bit, folks. Interesting, they definitely prioritise walls over floor smoothing. I think that's kind of appropriate. But there you go, guys. We are sitting relatively pretty. Indoors is a relatively cool temperature. Our new fridge is working nicely. Everything's sort of set up nearby. I guess there's even a bit of chat and joy going on in there at the moment, just because everyone's right next to each other. So I'm not sure I intended to do that. Sure, that bit. That's just tidying things up. But yeah, I did not intend to do this. And that's a leftover bit of planning from before, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway. There you go, guys. Good progress today. I think we've set up some things quite nicely. Dealt with the silly raid that landed inside the mountain somehow. Actually, it does say this is... There you go. Overhead mountain here. Constructed roof here. This is all constructive where they actually landed. So, maybe some sense made. People are looking fairly happy. We got a joy wire immediately for Addy. So, perhaps he is now the happiest man. Look at him. He is the happiest man. Mood. Like... everything. Sweet. And you guys wanted to kill him. He's fine. And we got a spare joy wire just in case anyone else starts to pull an Addy as well. So, all good. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, as you know, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Really helps me in the channel out. And if you didn't like it, please hit me up down in the comments and let me know what I can do to improve. How can I make it better for you? So thanks a lot, folks, and I will catch you next time.